Rick, you there? We need to talk. Are you still at work? Anyways, I left the divorce papers on the table, so can you file them with the courthouse tomorrow? That would be such a big help. I'm going to head back to my hometown, but I'm not moving back in with my parents. Now that you know about the divorce papers, I don't ever intend on coming back here. I don't plan on telling you where I'm going. It's also helped a lot that you've been so busy at work. It's given me a chance to pack my things at a slower pace without you noticing. I guess this is it. Have a nice life.
Excuse me, what is with all these messages? Hey, Poppy, you there? I just got back home to find these divorce papers. What is the meaning of this? You've only been married for 3 months, so why are there divorce papers in front of me? This is insane. What made you come to this conclusion?
Oh, would you look at that? You're done with work now. I see. You finished earlier than I expected.
Poppy, this isn't funny. Where are you right now?
I told you before in those messages that I'm not telling you.
I don't get it. What's the reason for you wanting to divorce me?
Because our personalities don't match, Rick.
What do you mean they don't match?
After being married for 3 months and then living together, I started to notice our differences a lot. I thought maybe we were wrong for each other. That was what I was thinking.
But isn't it important for couples to discuss such matters first, before any hasty conclusions? There's maybe some things that we can compromise on, Poppy.
No, there isn't. Then I came to the conclusion that the only way I'll be happy is if we get a divorce.
Is that so? There's nothing you want to try and compromise on?
Nope, nothing at all.
Well, for the reason that you've given me, it's funny that you think I'd be easily convinced to divorce you like that.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that?
Nothing. I figured this all out anyways. I guess I'll just hold on to these divorce papers then.
Oh, okay. Please file the divorce papers by the end of the day.
Why before the end of the day?
Because from tomorrow, I'll be living with my new boyfriend. I'm almost into my 30s, and I want to have a baby as soon as possible, given my age and physical strength.
Oh, right, so you have a boyfriend already?
Oh, what's up? Why so shocked to hear that? Don't take what I say too seriously. It's just a joke.
Look, Poppy, I don't really care what you say, but thank you for letting me know about your cheating scandal. It saves me the trouble of looking into what you've been doing.
Huh? What does that mean? But I told you I just meant it as a joke. I'm bailing on this conversation. I can see you're getting wound up over it. What is this thing about me paying alimony to you? This must be some sort of sick joke. I was just joking, and now you're trying to find out things about me? Are you for real? I was relieved that I hadn't had a peep out of you in for over 2 weeks, and now this?
Poppy, what are you talking about? Is it okay to say now that I sent a content certificated piece of mail and its arrival at the house you're living with Joe? I'm sure you also got an envelope with photo evidence inside of your affair delivered to you too, right?
I don't care about that. How do you know about where Joe lives?
I tracked down any mutual friends that we have, and they knew of his address, and they told me when I told them what was going on.
This photo is... When did you take so many photos of me?
Those photos? How can you not remember taking the embarrassing photos of yourself cheating on me?
Excuse me?
About a month ago, you changed your phone model, didn't you? And you didn't realize that you left your old phone on the side of the table when you left the house one day?
Really, I don't remember that.
But for some reason, it was still left to be charged and it had no lock on it. Right after you left and before I messaged you, I looked at the divorce papers on the table, and I thought then and there that my suspicions were confirmed to be true.
Oh, oops. I completely forgot about that other phone. I said what I needed to say at the time, so it saved you the trouble of collecting evidence.
And your point is?
My point is this. It's such a cowardly thing to go out of your way to open up about your feelings over the past 2 weeks to try and get alimony out of me.
I didn't intend to blurt it all out, but since I had consulted with a lawyer and made the right preparations, it took a couple of weeks to organize.
It doesn't change the fact that I was taken by surprise.
I don't think someone who willfully cheated on me should be able to comment that sort of thing. You should have expected that to happen. To make you see how sinful your actions have been, let's look into your lover, shall we?
Look into him? Now wait just a minute.
Your lover is Joe Tillins. He was in the same year as you in middle school and high school. When you were in your second year of high school, you started dating him. However, you discovered that Joe was cheating on you with another woman and you broke up after 1 month of being together.
Can you stop with all this crap, please?
After that whole debacle, you both graduated high school and went your separate ways. 2 months before we got married, you went to your middle school reunion and happened to meet up with Joe again there. At that same reunion, you and him hit it off like old times and really got excited to be around each other. So you skipped out on the reunion and went to the hotel instead.
I get it, all right. Would you please just stop it? I know what your heart's truly seeking. You want your alimony. You must know that Joe is quite rich and your aim is to take that away from him.
That's not it, Poppy. It's got nothing to do with him being rich. I'm just exercising my legitimate rights with being cheated on by my wife.
Yeah, whatever you say, Rick. It doesn't matter how you think about it. Anything you think about is fine by me. I guess I can't help it if you found out these things. I'll ask Joe to pay my share of the alimony so it won't hurt my conscience at all. It's actually cheap if you think about it being an offering of cutting you off from me.
Is that so, Poppy? Well, let me get back to you about this. Just pay me the amount I billed you by the date I stated without any delays.
Yes, Rick, I'll do that. I think that I can marry Millionaire Joe, and it's only a few $1,000s, so it won't be a big expense for me to pay you.
Oh, okay. It seems that Joe has been excluded from his family inheritance because he's not blood related to his wealthy father.
Wait, what? Rick? Rick, what you said earlier about Joe, it was true. Joe's mother had an affair, and he was the consequence of that. Because of his mother's dirty deeds, he's been excluded from his father's will and the family inheritance. His parents got a divorce when he was 19. The only reason why he didn't change his name was because his parents got married and ended up having the same last name. That's why he's still known by that name.
That sounds about right to me.
So, did you know about all of this? You knew when you messaged me the other day.
Well, I did do that quick investigation through his friends, so they had a lot to say. What would you have me do if I were to tell you that?
I would have gone back on my plans.
What's that supposed to mean?
I won't have to pay the alimony if we work this whole thing out. I want to start all over again with you, Rick. If we're with each other, it would be a win-win for both of us, right?
How is there a win-win in this for both of us?
What do you mean by that, Rick?
The fact that you had an affair isn't going to disappear from my mind. So even if you decide to change your mind about all of this, you still need to pay me the alimony. You've caused so much grief, and I would never forgive you for cheating in the first place. Naturally, I'm not even going to consider unraveling this whole mess. Starting over with you again, Poppy, would seem like a punishment to me for taking back someone who had an affair. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
But, Rick, we were a great couple up until 2 weeks ago. How can you give up on your love for me so easily?
It's not about that, Poppy. Are you really saying that considering you're the one who cheated on your husband?
But we had a beautiful wedding ceremony. Surely you remember that amazing day.
But what was the purpose of that ceremony if this was going to happen? Anyway, I have no plan to get back together with you. It's not happening. Please just give me my alimony before the deadline so I don't have to take you to court. I've had enough.
Don't say those things, Rick. Please, you've got to give me another chance. I have no way of paying the alimony, so can you think about getting back together? Because if we do that, we can go right back to the way things were, right?
I have no idea what you're saying. As I said earlier, It doesn't matter if you've changed your mind about me or not. You still owe me my alimony. There's no way you can get away with saying that you can't pay because you've run out of cash.
About that. So my parents are really angry at me for what I did, and they're so angry at the fact that I tried to move back in with them. I got into a fight with Joe, and he told me to move out of his apartment by tomorrow. All I have left now is you, Rick. Please.
I hate really vague conversations, Poppy. I'm not getting into this with you. No matter what you say, you still need to pay me the alimony no matter what. I'm not letting you get away with anything.
But, Rick, don't be like this.
I'm not replying to you anymore. Sort out your own problems and pay me my alimony.
Rick, answer me. I tried to come back home to you. I see there's no nameplate on the mailbox, and the key doesn't fit in the front door either. You seriously didn't move out of this house, did you? You didn't move out without saying a word, did you? Rick, are you going to reply to me? Didn't I tell you that I only have you to rely on? If you moved without telling me, then we won't be able to get back together. Rick, don't ignore my calls and messages. Answer me. You've got to be kidding me right now, Rick. I went to see if you were at your parents' house, and my father was there. He put me in the car and is taking me somewhere. I bet so much right now that you're at your parents' house right now. No? I came here because I couldn't think of what else to do since you weren't in our house. Why is this happening? Why won't you help me out? If you've gone back to your parents' house, you know that you'll not be able to see me anymore. Are you fine with that, Rick? Rick, answer me. I'm so sorry. Don't leave me on my own. Why do you have nothing to say to me? You've not even read a single one of my messages. I want to be with you.
I was able to see that Poppy went over to my old house and that she would go to my parents' house next. When I asked my ex-father-in-law to come and collect her, he was like, boom, we got her. At a later date, Joe decided to wire me the alimony. I thought that he would be too naive to do this, but I heard that he borrowed money from his ex-father on the condition that he would be permanently exiled from the hometown. Poppy, on the other hand, I asked her why she's complaining about paying alimony. Surprisingly, I discovered that she had a large amount of debt, so she ended up having to carry debt and alimony on her shoulders. The total amount was said to be about $600,000. She works multiple jobs to help pay her dues while her parents manage her salary. It seems that she's living a hard life, both mentally and physically.